think I think COD has dropped significantly how well they understood their audience, because they're trying to switch audiences right now into the younger generation that's like growing up on Fortnite and all this stuff. Because you know the older generation, like the ones that played Call of Duty 1, Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, Modern Warfare 2, 3, like the originals, not the shitty new ones. But those people who grew up on that grew up on like ground-based like shooters, right? We didn't grow up on like Fortnite and stuff like that. So it's not that it's bad or anything. Time to kill seems pretty quick too, which is also like usual COD. It doesn't scream bad, right? It doesn't like the movement feels good too. But yeah, there's a problem with trying to change audiences with an already Jesus. Oh, Jesus. There's a problem with trying to switch audiences with an already pre-established audience and fandom and all this stuff, because you kind of have to kind of forget about those people that literally made your game as great as it was. I was talking with my brother about it the other day, and we were talking about how when I was a kid, I loved COD, right? But I loved that my brothers played COD. I thought that was one of the coolest things about it. You look up to your older generation, before social media fucked everything up. Back then, you would be like, oh man, the older generation is playing COD. They're awesome. I want to play COD. Now it's like, dude, everybody plays Fortnite. Your grandpa plays Fortnite. Your brothers play Fortnite. Your dad might play Fortnite. You know what I mean? So there really is like a Fortniteization of a lot of pre-established, very, very popular pre-established franchises like Call of Duty and all this stuff. So definitely been a change, which is why I love the new Battlefield 6. I played the beta Battlefield 6 like religiously. I thought that beta was great. I thought that they did everything well. They really thought that it was made for people like me that are trying to play something like boots on the ground kind of gameplay, not really like this bullshit like, oh, you fly through the ceiling and like all this stuff and you can jump and right, like it was more boots on the ground kind of gameplay, which is something that Battlefield was kind of shying away from in the last Battlefields, which is why they didn't work. Also extremely buggy, which is something that as a AAA company, like a AAA company that makes AAA games and that has experience making those games, is just like unacceptable. But to be honest, oh, man, it's kind of insane that we have gone past everything and that we're doing like we're doing fucking Battlefield. EA, the monster company, one of the worst, not the worst, really not the worst, but one of the more like customer unfriendly, for a nice way to say it. Oh Jesus. One of the most customer unfriendly companies saving shooters with Battlefield 6. But hey, I'm here for I'm here for a redemption arc. Anytime. And Battlefield 6, dude, is just fucking awesome, dude. It's awesome. So COD shouldn't be that far away. Usually you would think this, right? Because like COD is, its own thing. It's this fast-paced shooter, right? With all the quirks and all the things. I guess one of the cool things of the future is that you don't have that much recoil. Guns, I guess. Does feel like the guns are like straight out of Black Ops 2, which is not something bad. I don't mind the like controllable recoil. I think we kind of went too far a little bit with the whole recoil thing. At the beginning, it was like this fun thing, like, oh, the guns, you know, they, you know, like the guns have like recoil. Oh, it's like real life. But then we went too far, and then like the guns like shoot, and you shoot like all the way to the ceiling. And I was like, okay, I'm not having fun anymore, bro. Like I gotta have like 3 fucking attachments for recoil before the gun is even like playable. Right? But to be honest, for me, we're being completely honest. Trying the new COD seems fine. It seems fine, to be honest. My first time, so I'm gonna have a shitty thing, but I did 14 and I didn't mean to screenshot that. 14 kills, 18 deaths. But what I feel that COD did wrong. Yeah, let's do that. So I don't have to mute myself every match. Jesus. So what I think COD did wrong, basically, essentially, was this yearly releases, right, that they were doing before, but it got too much. Like, I don't understand how. Oh Jesus, I don't know what I'm doing. I thought you could like run and. Oh yeah, you can sometimes. So you jump only, or you can like if I keep it pressed. I don't know how to get it. Is it only like a jump? But what I think COD did wrong, that a lot of people like misunderstood completely, especially like the big heads at Activision, was that they misunderstood completely like what COD meant to the people. You know, it's the same problem that companies, that franchises, more than franchises, less companies, but it's the same problem that franchises like Halo, you know, those who dominated the market back then, misunderstood completely, right? Halo was at its peak when it was like Halo 3 and Reach, you know, and ODST, which is a Halo that I fucking loved. That got a lot of people upset, but I fucking loved it. But one of the things that Halo did and Call of Duty did and all this stuff is completely misunderstand the audience. It just misunderstood the audience so much. I don't know how I didn't kill that guy, but whatever. I'm not really gonna be mad about it. Jesus, I'm extremely laggy. I hope that's a game thing and not like my computer doing that. My PC. But I tell you, like it completely misunderstood. It completely misunderstood its audience, and it completely misunderstood that the audience that you really work hard towards getting, the loyal customers, they're gonna be loyal, but they're gonna grow up too, and you're gonna have to do sacrifices. You can't. I don't understand how that guy died there, but whatever. You can't really be like, oh, I want to have a new audience, but I also want to retain my loyal previous audience, because you're making sacrifices there. You know what I mean? Like, look at it for zombies. I'm gonna play some zombies too, because I really wanna get down to that one. But look at zombies, right? Zombies is the perfect example of what Call of Duty misunderstood of their audience. Zombies before, let's do World of War, because World of War is where it started. So it was like it was like a fancy add-on, you know, it was interesting, it had like a whole mystery to it, but it didn't really have this like, this sort of like larger than life history and everything. It was just there's zombies and they're Nazis. There's Nazi zombies. Fuck yeah, right? That was like the thing, right? You're killing fucking Nazi zombies in an abandoned, I think it was a Nazi lab or whatever. So who's gonna be in their teens and be like and not be like, fuck yeah, I want to do that. And then zombies, well, it grew its initial like premise and went completely bankrupt creatively. And I think zombies, with all its changes and all this stuff, I think it peaked at Origins. Even with all the changes and everything, I feel like Origins was a nice little belt on that. And then I was like, okay, so it's over, right? They're gonna either you take all the good things that you got from all these years where you made this COD like extremely fun and the zombies and everything, and either you reel back a little bit on it, you make the zombies like scary again, whatever, or you double down. And I think they did both. They kind of doubled down, but they also took away the mystique of it, right? Like it completely. It's like, why the fuck is there health bars on a zombie, right? Like that for me is such a small change, such a small tweak, and people are gonna be like, "Man, you're old, man. It's the new generation that has to." But why do you have to have this constant like jingling of keys to get your attention going? You know what I mean? Trust me, I understand that COD before, like zombies before, was kind of like a hassle halfway through. Because at the beginning you're like, fuck yeah, we're gonna play and it's gonna be so much fun and all that stuff. And then by halfway you're kind of have everything like set up and everything. And if you're not really doing an Easter egg, it really is just about like just surviving. And then when you're surviving, it really is just about time. You know, you're playing hours and hours and hours, and the gameplay doesn't really change, right? So I think they thought that they kind of wanted to address this, and they felt that if the zombies had health bars, it would be easier to really spot the health of the zombies and make it feel like you're constantly doing something, even though you're just going higher up in rounds. They introduced exfil, which makes completely no sense. It makes absolute no sense as a survivor to have an exfil. It completely just abolishes the idea of you having to do the Easter egg and everything, because you're basically surviving. But then it changed to the point where like you're like, oh, it's really just about like getting the exfil and everything. They made the Easter eggs an objective. That is a complete fundamental misunderstanding of the whole aspect of zombies. Why do you make the only thing that literally keeps the players coming back and the players interested, make it an objective, right? And then people go like, well, that's kind of dumb because you can turn off the objective, right? And then you're like, okay, well, you can turn off the objective. That's okay, whatever. But why make it at first? Why make it like that in the first place? You know, it's because you want to retain both audiences. You want to get new audiences. You want to retain your old loyal like zombies audience, and that's fine. But you can't do it. You can't do it. There may be a way of doing it, and maybe Fortnite broke that like seal. But to be honest, for COD, it shouldn't have been done. It shouldn't have been done. And people could say like, well, it's because you need to survive as a company and you need to make more profit and all this stuff. So you have to rely on catching the younger generation. Because those are the people that keep buying the games. But bro, like for me, people my age that play COD, at 10 that played COD when I was in my teens, early 20s. No, I'm still in my early 20s, but whatever. People that played COD during those years, 10 out of them, 7 still play COD. They still own like a console, and they still play games. And after work, I used to play with them Warzone all the time. You know what I mean? So there really wasn't that much of a change. But Warzone was like the last light of ingenuity they had, because then like they fucked it up, and they, instead of doing like its own standalone thing where you don't really need the Call of Duty games and all this stuff, they were like, nope, we want to get in on the action, we want to fucking destroy everything we touch, so we're gonna do COD. We're gonna do the new releases integrate into Warzone, and then by the second game, you already had like weird guns. Like you had like 3 fucking sets of guns, which is way more than you need. You had like futuristic guns, and then like old guns, and then like modern guns, and all this stuff. And it's like, bro, like you lost it. You completely lost it. You had like, you know, the guns that you have from the previous games, they get like super nerfed, and then they buff like the new ones, and then they have to kind of like, oh sorry, we make this new gun that you have to pay for, extremely powerful, that's our fault. Okay, now we're gonna, a month later they're gonna be like, okay, we're gonna patch that gun because it's too powerful, and now people are not buying anymore, so we have to patch it so that people buy the new one that also wrecks the game, you know. And they did this a lot. They did this with the DMR. They did this with shit. They did this with everything, right? And that's fucking the problem with COD, brother. That's the only issue with COD. It completely misunderstood its audience, and completely misunderstands the new audience as well. The new audience wants Fortnite. The new audience wants Fortnite. It doesn't want.
We have lost the lead.
New audience. Huh? Okay. The new audience wants Fortnite. Let them have Fortnite. Why turn your game into Fortnite? Why is COD free to play? Right? Oh, because Fortnite is free to play and they fucking cracked the code. They cracked their own code. They're not trying. It's not like Fortnite went like, no, we have to be Call of Duty, or we have to be like Call of Duty. They kept doing their own thing, and it fucking worked for them. Good for them, brother. You have had Fortnite success for a while.
We have the lead. Maintain current posture.
Fortnite is free to play. You had people buying millions and millions of copies of your games all the time, non-stop. Yearly releases, yearly sales records, and like yearly like collector's edition sales, and all this like prestige editions and all this stuff. Those are gone now. Those people are gone now. They're not. Dude, half the people playing COD right now play it because it's on Game Pass. That's it. And I think a lot of people that defend COD, like COD shells, they completely misunderstand this part, because they go like, dude, you're just critiquing to critique. No, brother. I'm not critiquing to critique. I know that the old games are not gonna come back, right? I'm just saying that the new games are trying stuff that nobody wants and nobody likes. And to be honest, it completely fell apart. And it's kind of sad to see where a franchise that you used to play when you were younger, and that had a lot of replay value and a lot of like worth to you, and like you look forward to, you know, it's completely gone and in shambles. And it's a ghost of its former self. right? That's sad to see. And that's sad to see for anybody. COD also try new things that I thought were interesting as well. Jesus Christ, look at this guy. I thought that the Black Ops 2 like different like options where you had like the story, and you could you could change like how the story went and all this stuff, and like, you know, all these story beats that you could like indirectly change and all that stuff, and the multiple endings was cool,
Enemy RCXD detected.
but they're far from it. RCXD, cool. And I think a lot of these things, like, they lost the sauce. They completely lost the sauce. You know, the RCXD used to be a thing that was really popular because it was really ingenuous. It had like creativity, and it was like a fun like gameplay, like, you know. Now it's like the RCXD is here and you're like, uh-huh. And that's it. Doesn't have the sauce anymore.
Falling apart. Go for the jugular.
Scout pole standing by.
They lost their sauce. They lost their mojo completely. And they did it all by themselves. And to be honest,
Catching eyes over here.
who's gonna tell you better that your game is not doing great and the reasons why it's not doing great? A guy that grew up on COD and that pretty much up until Modern Warfare 3, I think, yeah, Modern Warfare 3 knows pretty much everything, all the characters and all the stories and all the stuff that grew up on that, and that understands the audience, right? And understand somewhat the younger audience too, or this like 40-50-year-old like fucking director that is just in a chair and just scrolling through social media, meaning like, well, the kids love fucking Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, let's put them in the Call of Duty game. They love the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. These people, they love Beavis and Butthead. They love these characters, but they're not meant for your game. People don't want to do this. You are wrecking your whole audience for nothing. For nothing. And it's just one of the... I won't admit that there's some problems with shooters as well. You know, and especially a problem that COD knows extremely well, where you can only do so much, right? You can only do so much before the game starts to feel very similar. And I think that's where they kind of screwed up too, because you can only go as far as you can, basically, not as you're willing to you know, take advantage of audiences and all this stuff, but you can only go so far. But this COD, this like problem they have and everything, why is Battlefield 6 now having like record players and betas and all this stuff? Do you think that's a coincidence, or do you think like maybe it's the audiences maybe saying something like, oh yeah, we like the new Black Ops 6 because it's really good? Jesus, this gun is not great. So like, are you kind of misunderstanding what you're doing? You know, a little bit. Doesn't there seem to be a little bit of a disconnect here?
Enemies are carrying the device.
Right? So I'm pretty sure Battlefield 6 is, I think it's finally gonna be the year where Battlefield, it eats Call of Duty's cake. I think it's finally gonna be the year, right?
Successful overload, Black Ops.
Jesus, there's so many. Jesus, the movement is crazy.
Secure the new device.
Jesus Christ, it's so funny.
Device acquired. Transport it to the enemy zone.
You know, I think it's gonna finally be that year where they're gonna eat their cake, and Call of Duty it's only gonna be forced to be like, okay, what the fuck went wrong? They're gonna have to start asking questions, uncomfortable questions, like why is fucking Battlefield, one of the guys that were pretty much our bitch all the years that we were doing games, beating us now? What are they doing right and what are they doing wrong? Well, that's what you're doing. Dude, and also, if next year, if EA fucking locked in, if EA locked the fuck in and said Battlefield 6 this year, next year or 2027 we'll do Battlefront 3, you're fucked. You're fucked, brother. Because Battlefront, a new Battlefront would go so incredibly, disgustingly hard. Star Wars always fucking sells, too. If you do it right, if you do it justice, Star Wars always fucking sells. And a new Battlefront would go so insanely hard, dude. Battlefield also misunderstood completely its audience, but Battlefield is ahead of the curve now because they saw it firsthand. You know, they did this fucking like Battlefield where like it was like cops and robbers kind of thing. And it was like, what are we doing, man? And then you had like the 2042, I think it was 2042, which was shit. And then you had like Battlefield 1, which was like, okay, so we're going back in time. This new Battlefield, I think it completely misunderstands. It completely understands what it misunderstood before, and I think that's why it's so great, right? Boots on the ground. Your main appeal for a shooter should not be the characters that you can play, the camos on the guns and all that stuff. Your main appeal should be your base gameplay and your maps. You need to have a nice offer of maps so it always feels refreshing. You're always like cycling through 8 maps is not incredibly good. Maybe cycling through 14 maps, 12 maps is a lot better of an offer. Right? And I'm sure with the fucking disgusting profits that these companies make, I'm sure they can pay people to, you know, put in some new maps. Right? Like you're a shooter. You know what I mean? It shouldn't be that incredibly difficult to put some nice offer of maps and make them good too. Like this kinds of maps, like this one, it just seems so boring, kinda. And I think, you know, they had some fun ideas in previous Call of Duties with like shipment and everything, which was kind of fun sometimes. But like now, one of the problems I see as well is like they always do Nuketown, dude. Like there's been like 7 versions of Nuketown. Like, do you need 7 versions of the previous map? No, you don't. Nobody needs that. Right? Nobody needs to see Nuketown 2045 and Nuketown 2020 and Nuketown Original and Nuketown. You don't need that. You don't need that. You don't need that. Leave Nuketown where it was, right? And maybe bring it back another time. Don't bring it back with every single game because it seems like you're fucking choking, you know? It seems like you're fucking choking and you're just going back like, you know? It kind of reminds me of the meme of this scene of SpongeBob where it's like I think it's Squidward and he's doing like this like clarinet like thing, and he's like, and everybody's like, boo, boo, and then like SpongeBob shows up, and everybody starts clapping, and then he pushes him away, and then he starts doing the clarinet thing again, and everybody's like, boo, and then he like brings like SpongeBob up, like halfway, you know, he's like peeking through the curtains, and he's like, and everybody's like, whoa. Yeah, so I feel like that's like the same thing that's happening. You know, they're trying new things. Everybody's like, dude, boo, boo. Then they go, Nuketown. And everybody's like, yeah. Then they go like, new map. Everybody's like, boo. Nuketown 2042. I think that's the problem. I've played 4 games now, and it seems very, very forgettable. It just seems so uninspired. It's like an AI made game. You know what I mean? And I can't wait to get my hands on tomorrow on Battlefield 6, because that is going to be fucking good, man. That's going to be fucking good. But yeah, I think I'm going to end this rant here, because I think I pretty much said everything about the current state of Call of Duty and what happened. My basic kind of review on it from this, I would say, is that it's very cookie cutter. It's very cookie cutter.
Domination.
Still have some time
Secure the objective.
from lunch,
Securing Charlie.
but I think I want to eat instead of playing the game, to be honest, guys.
Zone
Because
secure.
oh, fuck off. Killed myself. Is this like the summit of Black Ops 1? This is the same one? I think it's the same one. This is similar outlay.
Securing Alpha.
Jeez, I didn't hit one shot. Damn. Oh my god.
We've lost all zones.
I'm so bad at aiming.
Enemy UAV detected. Locking
But you get the
down
idea.
Bravo.
I think the game is fun. I think it's somewhat fun. Like, I don't think it's that bad that people are saying, like, it's the worst COD. Nah. It's far from it. It's just, I just say, like, yeah, it's just, like, so kind of, like, uninspired. And I think that's the issue. And I think games are art. You know what I mean? And
Lost.
when you look at art, right? You can make art like extremely like company based, you know, and like numbers based and all this stuff. But once you see the lack of passion, the lack of understanding in art, right, of what it's trying to say and all this stuff, you can tell. You can tell like the lack of passion. You can tell that the people making it are like just cashing a paycheck, really. Like before, Black Ops 1 has one of the funnest, most interesting stories when it comes to it. And the twist with like Resnob not really being there and you just going crazy is actually really fucking cool, right?
All zones lost.
And I think
Hostile
they
UAV
completely
established.
misunderstood this.
Taking B.
And now it's like the twist is always like
Securing C.
there's a new like AI that's like training like soldiers into killing themselves or whatever, into killing people and all this stuff, and it's going rogue,
Well
and you
done.
have to kill it
Zone Charlie
before it
locked
kills
down.
us, right? Or there's like, oh, there's a program, or like everything. There's one game in the Call of Duty franchise that's not Black Ops or Modern Warfare that did the whole futuristic thing kind of good, and I think that would have been
Taking C.
Advanced Warfare, not Infinite Warfare. Advanced Warfare. I think Advanced Warfare was pretty fucking fun. Was pretty fucking fun when you didn't have somebody in your fucking ear telling you it's not fun. You just think it's fun, but it's not. It was. It was. Advanced Warfare was fun, and I think that was cool. I think that was cool of them. I think it was a game that had a lot to offer. And then they went like Infinite Warfare with fucking McGregor, and it was like, okay, you completely misunderstood this. You don't want to have this extremely like popular people based to your game. You're misunderstanding the fundamental of war. You know, the whole thing about war is that it's like nameless soldiers and all this stuff, and you have someone that's like quite interesting, like Resnov, like Mason. Well, Mason not really interesting, we'll say, but you know, he's a good main character, I guess. And Woods and Soap and all these people, you know, like Price. And then that's a cool thing. But they don't have to be. It doesn't. You don't have to have Kevin Spacey as the main bad guy for us to be like, oh, it's Kevin Spacey. This Call of Duty is kind of serious with its story. No, no, no. And it's not like it's not even like a good like sales point as well. Because teens don't really give a fuck about Kevin Spacey. Kevin Spacey likes teens, but teens don't really like Kevin Spacey as much. He hasn't been in a lot of things. Kevin Spacey is more for like people that you know that grew up with movies like LA Confidential or like actually watch like House of Cards and everything. Shows and movies that a teen would not be as extremely interested, especially now with the current offer of like Marvel movies and all this stuff. So McGregor was like an interesting bet, but I don't think you understood what you're trying to do, man. I don't understand like why they thought like McGregor had like this massive like appeal for shooters, like fans of shooters. Okay, I don't need to see. Yeah, okay, fuck. It's really fast paced, which is good. It's Call of Duty. It's time to kill is fun when it should be. And yeah, I don't think it's bad. I really don't think it's bad. I just think it's kind of unmemorable.
Losing B. Locking down Charlie. We control zone C. Bravo lost.
How does somebody having an exosuit that literally helps you like jump like 2-story buildings? How does somebody like that still experience recoil from guns? Is what I'm kind of interested in as well, like the logic on that.
Losing Bravo.
There's more ways that you can make a gun engaging than the recoil, surely. Jesus. Oh, it's a fucking thing. Okay. Oh, that's why they didn't auto aim. Okay, I get it.
Losing B.
Jesus, I ate that like a bitch. I don't know how I fell into that bucket.
Losing
Oh,
Bravo.
Jesus.
We lost B.
Yeah.
They're taking
It's fine. It's fine. It's really fine. It's nothing too bad. It's nothing too good. It's just fine with an O.
We're losing Charlie.
Fine. Oh, Jesus. Boba Fett here.
They're taking C.
Is that actually like a Boba Fett skin? And he just looks really similar to Boba Fett. But yeah, I don't think it will be a Boba Fett.
We're
Like
losing
their little
Charlie.
skin.
Get a counter UAV in the air.
I thought there was something
Taking
coming.
Alpha. All zones lost.
Oh,
Alpha
damn.
secure.
Hot damn. But yeah. I think I'm just gonna play this one and that's it. Because yeah, it's not extremely like engaging to me anymore. I don't know. I don't know why though. Because like with Battlefield 6, man, I was playing that shit religiously. As soon as I had a break or as soon as I had some time, I would fucking get on immediately, like hop on immediately. My friends were like at 1 a.m. I was like fucking tired, and they were like, "Dude, hop on." We were all on Battlefield 6. I was like, "Fuck,
Underway on Bravo.
fuck." You don't have to tell me twice, right?
What are you waiting for? Make your move.
But if somebody told me like, "Hey man, like hop on, we're in Black Ops 7," I'm gonna be like, "Yeah, I'm really tired, man." I'm gonna think about it twice. But I tell you, maybe also I outgrew Call of Duty too. Maybe that could be a reflection point.
We're losing Alpha.
Maybe I outgrew it completely, and then
No intel,
yeah,
nothing.
this is what it has come to.
Con was shit. We're better than this.
Interesting. So yeah, that's about it for COD. I'm gonna try the zombies too, but yeah, I think it's fine. Yeah, not too good, not too bad. It's fine. Definitely the worst option out of Battlefield 6 and COD. It's definitely COD, but yeah, that's about it. Thank you guys for watching. Oh, I can't fucking finish the video because this fucking thing is literally hijacking my PC. I guess it's like the anti-cheat code. Anti-cheat, but it literally just hijacks my PC. Basically, doesn't let me move my mouse like anywhere other. But yeah, that's about it. Thank you guys for watching.